let's start with you telling us about a Thousand Hills products. Like what is it? Like what do you do?
Well, A Thousand Hills Products is a company that deals with agri products, Rwandan grown agri products. So it operates. We actually have two companies. So it's A Thousand Hills Products Rwanda and A Thousand Hills Products Poland. They both work like sister companies, and we basically source the coffee and tea, as you just said, from Rwanda. So 1000 Hills Products sources the coffee. 1000 Hills Products Rwanda sources the coffee from Rwanda and
Yeah.
exports it to 1000 Hills Products Poland. So 1000 Hills Products Poland receives the coffee and stores it in the warehouse. Of course, the tea as well.
Yeah.
And we do the value addition. We do the value addition in Poland. So that means the packaging, the roasting for
Awesome.
the coffee and packaging, and the packaging for tea. So with regards to coffee, we do the roasting and we also sell the raw material, which is the green beans.
Yeah.
So we do both. And with regards to the tea, we transform the tea because we actually export it in bulk bags.
Yeah.
So we transport them in bulk bags and actually have to separate them. The tea that is going to be packaged in the tea bags and the tea that is going to be packaged in the loose cans.
Okay.
So this is what we do basically. We do add value of the products that have already been exported to Poland, and then we ship them across Europe.
Okay. So your factory is actually based in Poland. So you send the raw coffee beans um,
Yeah,
unroasted, and then they get roasted in Poland and packaged and basically shipped across Europe. Okay,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So I guess let's step back and learn about how you came up with the idea of a Thousand Hills products. So you went to school in Poland uh, for computer science,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you finished your bachelor's in computer science and decided to do uh, business for your master's. So did you know that you wanted to start a company and you didn't want to do like computers after you graduate? Like how did you decide to when did you come up with the idea, and how did you start decide to pursue a degree in business?
Actually, this is what has happened exactly. I left for studies to Poland in 2012. That was around October, and of course, I already had my studies to be joined in October. Then by the end of these computer studies, we actually had to specialize in one kind of specialization. So
Yeah.
there were many options. There were options in software, development and all this kind of stuff. But there was also another option in electronic business, which is e-business or e-commerce.
Yeah.
So this is actually what I specialized in my third year. So it was a bit of a mixture between business and computer science, how to create your own online sales, and how to all this kind of stuff was actually what I specialized in my bachelor,
Yeah.
even though it was under computer sciences.
Yeah.
So the first time that I actually went to Poland, I think the first year, uh, you know, actually I already had this kind of entrepreneurial spirit even back in my secondary school, where I used to do some different sorts of small businesses at school, selling computer softwares, some kind of of programs, some movies, some CDs, such kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and so I don't think the idea of actually doing business was the first time when I was in Poland. I think I had it already kind of in an immature way when I was still studying in my high school.
Yeah.
So when I went to Poland, uh, I really hoped that I could do something between the two countries, not only
Yep.
about studying, but this was something that was actually in me when I actually came to Poland. I was like, of course, yes, studies come first because that's actually what I have to do because that was my main purpose of actually living the country. But
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I need to do something as well between the two countries.
Yeah.
So I decided, to find something that can, be exported between the countries. So the first thing that came in my mind was tea,
Uh-huh.
because being honest, it was very hard to find some quality tea. By that time, if you compare to the tea that we actually drink in Rwanda, so I was like, maybe I can ship some tea and just try to sell them around, the
Yep.
stores and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is when the idea came. It was the first year of my bachelor. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
I started doing the analysis. Yeah, yeah. I started doing my analysis right after that. I was like, okay, I got some free time. Let me, check out in the, in the city and see how actually this tea is imported. Because of course, Poland does not grow its own tea. Tea is a tropical kind of, plantation.
Yeah.
So Poland and Europe and USA and I mean, tea is supposed to be just in the tropics, grown in the tropics. So
Yeah.
that's like the biggest advantage. So
Yeah.
if they were growing tea, then it wouldn't make sense to actually bring tea to Poland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I started doing the analysis right after, and of course combining with the studies, combining with trying to adapt to the new place because
Yeah.
Poland is not a very kind of a popular country, mainstream country to actually go study like a random student. So I had a
Yeah.
lot of things to catch up, different language, cold weather, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the city when I went for my studies. I was in a city called Krakow,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only one Rwandan there by that time in the whole city.
Yeah.
So it was quite challenging. It was quite challenging. I had to, adapt to many things. Start learning how to, speak the language and understand the culture and understand many things. Adapt to the environment, to the weather, to the climate. So this was the third thing. So it was about analyzing the business, studying, and of course adapting to the place.
Yeah.
And so this needed some time. The three things needed some time to actually, align together and have one spectrum of thinking of working.
Yeah.
So by the end of the second year, I had to come back to Rwanda for my summer holidays. I decided to go to have some kind of internship in kind of tea or coffee, company or stuff. So when I was in Rwanda, I decided to do my internships at NAIEB, which is
Yeah.
the National Agriculture Export Board of Rwanda. So I had my 2 months training there. So this is when I actually, started to get even more deeper understanding of tea and trade and
Yeah.
related. So I went. I actually was given a training in the marketing department of NAIEB.
Yeah.
So by this, I had a chance to actually understand not only about tea, but as well as coffee, because tea was the first thing in my mind by then.
Yeah.
I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was going to be tea. Actually, I wanted to name the company 1000 Hills Tea. But,
Yeah.
after the trainings, it actually changed, and I had a chance to also work on the coffee sector. And I was like, you know what, maybe tea would be limited, so let me just call the company 1000 Hills Products
Yeah. Yeah. Smart.
so that anything that is gonna, thank you so much, anything that is gonna fall into this, the
Mm.
agribusiness will be, worked on and exported.
Yeah.
And I realized by then, I realized that it's much easier to actually start with coffee than tea.